Hi everyone, welcome to BistroBuzz TV. Today we're going to be making a very simple spaghetti sauce. So let's get started. The first ingredient, oregano, and this time I got the Simple Truth brand. I've never used this one before, but you can see that this is just the fresh. We're going to be using the oregano. And then we have the Hunt's no salt added tomato paste. Now a lot of people like the tomato paste that already has, more salt added, but I'm trying to cut down on some of the salt, so I got the no salt added. And I really like the Hunt's brand. Any of the brands will work, but I just really like the Hunt's brand, the way that turns out. And then we've got the Hunt's tomato sauce. This one is really good. So with the paste and with the sauce, we use the 8 ounce. I don't use very much, it's just the 8 ounce, smaller cans. And then we have the Hunt's no salt added diced tomatoes. And of course you can see this one is the larger can, it's the 28 ounces. So you've got your diced tomatoes, the tomato sauce, and the tomato paste, those 3 items. And along with the oregano, very important to have as well. And this time I'm going to add 2 of the orange peppers. I'm only using 2 because they had 2 for $2, so I wanted to go ahead and just get the 2 for the sale price. And then I'm using the green pepper, the yellow pepper, and then a Vidalia onion. Some people don't like onions, so a good thing that I found that I can do is cut the onions up and slice them into very large slices. And then once you make your tomato sauce, mix everything together. And then once you're really getting to where you can get your spaghetti sauce together, then take out those larger onion pieces. So that works out really well. I also got some of the tomatoes here. I wanted to use some of the larger ones. They're not very large, but they're just a really good size. This brand is very good, and wanted to try these again with the spaghetti sauce because some tomatoes have a little bit more of a tangy taste than others. These have a little bit of a sweet taste, and I really like them. Also, I'm going to use for the extra virgin olive oil. I use this when making the pasta. And then of course we've got the parsley flakes. Now some individuals may want to use the oregano that comes in the little McCormick jar like this, and you can also use basil, but today I'm only going to use the oregano. So let's get started. There's one other ingredient that I'd like to share with everyone, and what I'm going to be doing today is making this spaghetti sauce in a crock pot. You can see here I've got one of the older versions of the crock pot. I take a teaspoon of the sugar and I place it into the very bottom of the crock pot. You can see here, before I add any other ingredients, what I like to do is after I add the sugar, I'm going to add the diced tomatoes, and then I'm going to stir it up so you'll get the sugar, a little bit of a sugar taste within the sauce itself. But I really like to add this first, and I'm using the Domino sugar. So that again is 1 teaspoon of the sugar on the bottom of the crock pot. I have added the diced tomatoes, and what I'm doing is I'm stirring these up, and that way the sugar will mix in with the diced tomatoes. Now we're going to add the tomato paste and the tomato sauce, and we will stir all of that together. Now we have added the tomatoes, diced tomatoes, the tomato sauce, and the tomato paste. I'm just stirring this up, and remember, we have the sugar on the bottom as well. And a lot of people don't add the sugar, but I have found through the years making the spaghetti sauce or meat sauce, you can use this just as any kind of sauce for your lasagnas, for any type of Italian dishes. But I've just found that adding just that little bit of sugar makes it taste so yummy. So you can add the sugar or you can just leave the sugar out. Either way, whatever works best for you. But it doesn't add a very sweet flavor. It's just enough, just a hint of sugar that just adds a little bit of a nice flavor to it. So You can see here that we mix this very, very well. And my next step is I'm going to cut up the orange peppers, the green and the yellow pepper, and also the onion, and I'll be adding those. So let's get started with that step. Here we have the orange, yellow, and green pepper cut up, and you can see that I cut these into kind of the larger different strips here, just in case someone doesn't like the peppers. It's mainly for flavor anyway, so if they don't like them, they can pick them out very easily. Some people cut these up very finely, but I try to keep them a little bit of the larger sizes here. You can see some of them a little bit longer. We've got this, about this size right here is what I use, and it just adds a lot of flavor. I use the yellow, orange, and green pepper every single time. It just adds so much flavor, so we're going to add these. And the next step is we're going to cut the onion and place it into the crock pot as well. All right, I cut the onion to where you can see it has like 4 different little slices. What I do is I like to take out the core part of this, and I just throw it away because I don't use it. It's small, I just don't use it. So then I will take the little sections here and I'll just use these into the spaghetti sauce. And that way people that do not like onions, they can take those out also, but I do like to add the onions for flavor. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take these, get the little sections out of here, and then place them into the spaghetti sauce. We have added the diced tomatoes, the tomato sauce, the tomato paste, 2 orange peppers, 1 yellow pepper, 1 green pepper, a teaspoon of sugar, and you can see here the onions. Like I said, I like to keep the onions larger because some people do not like the onions, and that way once it's cooked they can just take these and place those to a side. But we have the sauce here. We've added all of those ingredients. Now the next step is I'm going to add a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of parsley, and I'm going to also put some oregano in. So let's get started with that step. We have added all the ingredients. The next step is some people like their sauce a little thicker and some people like their sauce thin. I like the sauce a little bit thinner than this. So what I'm going to do, and you can do this also, just add a touch of water and get it to the consistency that you like. I'm just going to add maybe a half a cup of water to this, and then I'm going to place the crock pot on low, and I'm going to let this stay on low for a couple of hours, and then we will be back. Here's a quick salad, everyone, that I made, and I saved a few of the orange, yellow, and green peppers to put into the salad, so you can save a little bit of those. You can put the remainder of those into the spaghetti sauce like we did. And so I added those to the lettuce and added a few of our tomatoes. There were 3 of the tomatoes that I used to place on top of the salad. So now we will wait for the spaghetti sauce to cook, and we will be back. All right, everyone, this has cooked for 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. And you can see here I did add 2 hot dogs to it. So this is the finished spaghetti sauce, meat sauce. And there you go. Very simple. Everyone, enjoy. Here's a quick appetizer you can pair up with your spaghetti. I took croissants, the small croissants. You split them in 2, and then I did toast them with butter on them, and then added olive oil, and then sliced tomatoes, the balsamic vinegar, and sprinkled Parmesan cheese on top. So it's very yummy. So that is something you can pair up with your spaghetti. Dinner is served. We have our spaghetti with meat sauce, salad, and croissants with Parmesan cheese, tomato, balsamic vinegar, and olive oil. Thanks for watching. Come back to visit us again at BistroBuzz TV. Please like and subscribe and visit us again soon. Thank you.